Welcome to the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. As always, presented by Heinemann and Associates. I'm Alex Napolis. He's Carson Lentz. We're here at Zions Bank, still getting ready for the second semifinal matchup, and this one is between the number 3 Salem Hill Skyhawks and the number 7 Roy Royals. Carson, after that crazy first game, what are we expecting from this second one here in the 5A semifinals?
Man, I don't really know what to expect, really. Maybe a little bit more like last game was an exciting game. This could be even a more exciting game. These teams are very well even matched, and we could be potentially in for a great game, Alex.
It is going to be the Roy Royals in the white, shooting to the right of your screen, and it is the Salem Hill Skyhawks in the dark blue with the white sleeves shooting to the left. In possession here is the Salem Hill Skyhawks. That ball will go back to Thomas. Thomas plays it out wide to Torgerson. Now coming up to Brooks Barker. Nice turn there from Jackson Williams. Williams will go back to Cash Anderson. Anderson will play it out wide to Will Hansen. Hansen carries. Nicely done there by the Roy Royals to try to win back possession. Salem Hills keep possession. That ball goes out of bounds and out. Throwing coming up here for the Salem Hills Skyhawks.
What a name, the Roy Royals.
It's a tongue twister.
Yeah. Got to get used to that one.
Ball comes in. Cleared out by the Roy Royals. It was Jackson Batty over there on the far side giving chase. Goes out of bounds and out for the goal kick. Starting in goal for the Roy Royals is number 1 is Xander Allred as he boots this one away. Nicely won back by the Salem Hill Skyhawks as they have possession given away. One here by Roy. It's Aiden Hart. Hart who boots it over the top. Brought down now by David Rangel. Ball won back as Torgerson wins it back. And now here's Rangel for the Roy Royals. Foul, free kick called, and an opportunity here for Roy to get forward.
Yeah, no one really having an advantage early in this game. Just a little chaotic ball here in the first couple minutes. Let's see what the Roy Royals can do with this free kick.
It's going to be taken by Hunter Patterson, who floats one in. Looking back post, just slides by 3 attackers running off. Trying to crash into the box, but it goes out of bounds and out. Goal kick coming up here for the Skyhawks. Yeah,
early opportunity for Roy to get on the board right there, but unfortunately the ball just sails past everyone.
Let's take a look at these two sides as we bring you here the second game of the 5A semifinals. We'll start with the number 3 Salem Hill Skyhawks coming to this one at 14-2 overall. They finished 10-2 in Region 7. Second place finish for the Skyhawks. Again, they are the number 3 in the RPI. 50 goals scored so far this year. 14 goals against. Their 2 losses, guess who? To the Wasatch Wasps. One to a 3-1 in a snowy blizzard game that me and our camera guy Tino did earlier back in March. And then the second one, a 3-0 loss in the return fixture. First round bye for the Salem Hill Skyhawks. They beat the Maple Mountain Eagles in the 1-0 in the second round. And then in the quarterfinals, they beat Woods Cross 4-1 to set themselves up here with a semifinal matchup against the Roy Royals. At one point, Salem Hills was undefeated, and they were the number 2 team in the state of Utah, and then they met the Wasatch Wasps.
Yeah, what really stands out to me when looking at the goals against Salem have given up. They've only given up 14 goals all season. To their 50 goals they've scored, that's not that bad. So obviously you got to look at their attack. Their attack can get goals in the back of the net, and their defense can defend as well. They conceded 6 to Wasatch, though. So that's all I got to point out, though.
Take away those 6. I'm not good at math, but that's a pretty good defensive record there.
Yeah. Exactly.
Rangel will float one in for Roy. The header flicked off there by Boston Risk. And it goes out of bounds and out. Goal kick coming up here for the Skyhawks.
Yeah, great little ball by Rangel right there. Trying to create early in this game, and that's a good sign early as Roy looked to get a goal before Salem does.
For the Roy Royals, they come into this one as maybe the Cinderella of 5A. They are the number 7 in the RPI, the lowest seeded team heading into the semifinals at 13-3 overall. They finished 11-3 in Region 5. It's enough for a second place finish in Region 5. 43 goals scored, 22 goals against. Early losses for this Roy Royals side in region. They lost to Box Elder 4-3 in overtime. They lost to Bountiful 3-2, and then they lost to Viewmont 1-1, a 3-1 penalty shootout in that region matchup. But then they bounced back. They have been unbeaten since early April on a 10-game win streak coming into this one, beating Box Elder in the reverse game 1-0, beating Bountiful 4-3, and beating Viewmont 2-1. Here comes a good opportunity for the Salem Hill Skyhawks. Flicked down and safely into the hands of All Red.
Yeah, what stands out to me about Roy is all their 3 losses they have. They lost by at least 1 goal, and then they lost in penalties, obviously, and so they barely have lost. And so that's kind of a good sign when going in the playoffs. They just have to fix one thing, and who knows? Maybe they'll upset Salem here.
Booted away by the Roy Royals. They got the first round bye with that 7th seed in the RPI. They beat West Jordan in the first one, 3-0. And then the big one, the upset against the number 2 in the RPI. They beat the East High Leopards 3-1 in the quarterfinals. Huge win there for the Roy Royals.
Yeah, man, what a win, man. And so, now they're here. One more win away from going to America First Field and maybe hoisting the state champion trophy. Let's see what we got in store here.
Ball will just flow through and out for the goal kick. Nothing too dangerous there on the free kick for the Roy Royals. Here comes now Salem Hills in possession. That ball will go back to Thomas. Out wide to Hansen. Hansen back in the middle of the park now for Shepard. Jack Shepard will bring it up back out to Hansen. Hansen playing it in. Nice step there by Roy, and a foul called.
A lot more quieter today than it was, in this game than it was the first game. Not as much of a fan section for either team.
Give it a second. As soon as a goal or two start hitting the back of the net, these fans will come alive.
It would be nice to have another good atmosphere, so hopefully they do.
Hansen will play it back to Williams. Hansen flicked in now to Shepard. Shepard trying to connect back with Hansen. That ball goes out of bounds and out. Throw-in coming up here for the Roy Royals.
Yeah, just a little miscommunication right there on the 1-2. But you see stuff like that in these games and early in the game. They're warming up, trying to get used to the game. And so that's not something to worry about.
Throw in for Roy on the far side. Booted away by Cash Anderson. Here comes Salem Hills trying to find the attack. Booted away by Braden Butters. Offside flag raised, so we'll have a free kick coming up here for the Salem Hills Skyhawks. For Salem Hills last season, fell in the quarterfinals to the Wasatch Wasps, 3-0. This year, they're here in the semifinals. Still yet to win a state championship, looking for their first ever title this year. Ball out now to Brower. Nicely cut out there by Luke Harrison. Rangel trying to turn. And a foul called. Free kick coming up here for Roy.
Yeah, what an interesting tackle by Luke Harrison right there. It seemed like both players were falling, and all of a sudden Luke Harrison pulled out a great tackle, and now they have a free kick.
Free kick coming up here for Hunter Patterson as he steps over it to take. Patterson will boot this one away. Williams gets a foot on it, lands at Jackson Batty. Batty will float one in over the top. Now it's Harrison. Harrison goes out wide to Curtis. Curtis back into Rangel, and now ball goes out of bounds and out. Throw-in coming up here for the Roy Royals.
Yeah, pretty slow just here in the first 10 minutes. Expecting to pick up, though. You know, this is a semifinal game. You know, both teams want to win, and if they want to win, they got to pick up the play.
Seems like both teams at the moment just kind of feeling each other out, just seeing what the other team's about. These are two teams that have not played each other this year. It's the first meeting of the season for these two sides, and so they're just kind of getting a feel for each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Seeing what they're doing. Ball up now to Barker. Got out by Roy. One back in the middle of the park now by the Salem Hill Skyhawks. Ball out wide to Williams. Out now to Torgerson. Torgerson just can't connect on the ball as that goes out of bounds and out for the throw-in.
Yeah, unfortunate, a swing and a miss, but let's hope he can just keep his head up, keep playing.
Williams. Now it's in possession with Bybee. Bybee trying to turn. A foul called. Committed there by Bronson Benlip.
Yeah, nice little battle right there, and in the end, Bybee won that and got fouled, so now Salem have another free kick.
Williams takes a quick to Thomas. Thomas back to Jackson Williams. Shepard. Bybee back into Shepard. Shepard now taking it into the box. Shepard with an opportunity. The cross comes in. The header from Barker that goes over the bar.
Yeah, what a great little flick on by Bybee right there to set up that play. Unfortunately, they didn't get on target in the end.
Brooks Barker somehow snuck in front of his defender and was able to get up with the header, but unfortunately can't put it on frame. What a play there from the Salem Hill Skyhawks.
Yeah, I mean, 12 minutes into this game, and that's an opportunity from Salem early in this game, and they look that was a good sequence from them, man. If they can keep that going, I bet they'll succeed.
Here comes Risk, playing it now to Schuffenauer. Nicely cut out by Thomas. Risk trying to win it back and does. Boston Risk trying to turn. Plays it in the middle now for Harrison. Harrison taking a shot from distance. That'll just go safely into the hands of Matt Parrish.
Yeah, just didn't get enough under that ball, Harrison, but it was good thought.
Ball out wide now to Torgerson. Thomas. Playing it to Williams. Jackson Williams carries, playing it up to Barker. Barker with a nice little flick, looking for Drexton Brower. A foul called and a free kick coming up here for the Skyhawks.
Yeah, some nice flicks early on in this game.
Ball now to Torgerson. Back into Brower. Brower pushed off the ball. Nicely done there by Roy. Coming up now is Corbin Schuffenauer. Schuffenauer getting around Williams. Tugged down by Williams. And we'll have a free kick coming up here for the Roy Royals.
Yeah, got to think, that was an attacking opportunity early in this game, and any other time in this game, I'm pretty sure that would have been a yellow card.
Got a lot of jersey on that one.
Yeah. Maybe the ref didn't get a good angle on it, or maybe he's just like, hey, semifinal game. It's not making any game game.
Game-changing decisions.
Yeah, game-changing
Yes,
decisions.
Yep. The ball floated in near post. It goes out of bounds and out. Goal kick coming up here for the Salem Hill Skyhawks. 26 minutes left to go here in the first. All knotted up at 0-0. A couple of good opportunities for Roy, but the most clear one so far has to be that Salem Hill's opportunity just a couple minutes ago from Barker. Parrish. Playing it to Thomas. Played it out to Torgerson. In the middle of the park to Brower. Brower leaving it for Shepard. Shepard now to Williams. Williams playing it to Shepard. Takes a bounce. One back by Hansen. Hansen will play it in the middle now for Williams. Williams taking it up against Rangel. Nicely cut out by Aiden Hart, and a foul called. Free kick taken quickly by Salem Hills, but it's going to come back. Official said the ball was moving.
Yeah, getting a little physical. You know, always expect a physical battle in high school soccer. No one wants to lose, so not surprised. Oh, here we go again.
It's Boston Risk. Plays it up, looking for Rangel. That ball will just float through safely back to Matt Parrish.
Yeah, neither team able to get an attack going really early in this game. Salem's the only one that has created an opportunity. Roy's yet to, but they're just missing that final pass.
Rangel settles it down nicely to Scheffenauer. Nicely one back by Thomas. Brower playing it to Bybee. Bybee now taking it up for Salem Hills. Bybee gets around one, leaves it off for Barker. Barker now taking it in. Barker into the box, and nicely shielded off there by number 16, Hunter Patterson, as that ball goes out of bounds and out. Goal kick.
Yeah, nice little season from Brower right there. You know, he won the 50-50 ball and played the ball up, and Salem were almost in for another chance.
So this past off season, there was the realignment. People moved around, regions moved around, classifications moved around. Last year, Hunter and Roy were 6A schools. They make the move down to 5A this season. We have two of those schools here in the semifinals, Hunter being one, Roy being the other. Last year, Roy lost in the second round to Syracuse 3-2 in the 6A playoffs. Now here they are in the 5A playoffs a year later in the semifinals.
See, there's nothing wrong with that, you know. I don't really understand how much the alignment goes, but that's still a good sign for Roy. You know, they made the second round last year, lost to Syracuse is always a good
Who was the
school.
eventual champion.
Yeah, Syracuse is always a good school in soccer, but look at now, Roy's here. They dropped down a division, and now they're here in the semifinals. That's not a bad sign at all. If anything, that's a positive for their school.
And unlike Salem Hills, they do have the one state championship back in 2003 for Roy.
That's crazy to think about because they haven't won a state championship since I was born.
Now you're making me feel old.
It's
Foul.
okay, Alex. We all age.
Foul called and a free kick coming up here for the Roy Royals. Players who keep an eye on tonight. Let's start with the the designated home side, Salem Hills. It's not going to be number 23, Barker, who has 17 goals and 8 assists so far this season. Off the bench, Ben Staley with 9 goals and 2 assists, and then Will Hansen with 8 goals and 4 assists. Those are the players to watch for the Salem Hills Skyhawks.
Yeah, it's an impressive goal and assist contributions from Barker. You know, he's 17 goals, 8 assists. That's awesome. Let's see if he can add to those tallies today.
And you know what makes that even more awesome is the fact that Barker is a sophomore.
Wow, they got him for another 2 years. Who knows what his numbers are going to be like next season?
I think the Salem Hills team will go as far as the sophomore takes them. Like you mentioned, 2 more years under the belt for Barker.
Yeah.
Salem Hills has got a good attack coming up here in the next couple of years. Ball booted away by Parrish. Header there by Staley. And now here comes Ben Staley. Can't keep that ball in bounds. It goes out of bounds and out. Throwing coming up here for the Roy Royals. Take a look at players to watch real quick for the designated visitors in the Roy Royals. It's going to be number 2, Corbin Scheffenauer, who has 10 goals and 1 assist so far on the year. Rangel, who's the creator, has 8 goals and 3 assists. And then Aiden Hart with 6 goals and 7 assists. Ball comes out. It's going to be Barker. Slips, but keeps his footing. Barker supports himself with Torgerson. Now it's Barker. Barker playing it into Brower. Brower back to Barker. Nice back to Barker. But unfortunately, too much as it's cleared out by Roy.
Nice little thought of a sequence right there with Barker. Looking for that 1-2, but unfortunately didn't find the foot of his teammate.
Up the sideline, it's Hansen. Hansen crossing it in. The ball goes out of bounds and out. Goal kick coming up here for the Roy Royals.
Yeah, with about 19 minutes left in this game, Salem's so far dominating. You know, they've been in Roy's half of the field for most of the game so far. Roy hasn't really got any attack going. So let's see if Roy can pick it up or if Salem can capitalize.
Ball one back by the Royals. It's going to be Jackson Batty who plays it up to Rangel. Rangel is going to float one in over the top. Giving chase, it's Scheffenauer against Thomas. Scheffenauer wins out that battle. Scheffenauer taking it into the box. Scheffenauer goes down, penalty called, and the Roy Royals have a chance to open the scoring.
Yeah, a little awkward moment from the ref right there, you know. Scheffenauer was pulling at the defender's jersey at first, and then he gets past him, and the defender brings him down as well. You know, just controversy. You know, we saw that in the last game, and the ref's just doing his job, so nothing to complain about. Let's see if Roy can capitalize off this penalty.
Against the run of play, too, as well. We were just talking about how Salem Hills had the possession in the attacking third, and then all of a sudden, ball comes down the other end. We have a penalty called, and a good chance here for Roy to take the lead.
Yeah, commentator's curse at its finest right there.
It's going to be David Rangel from 12 yards out against Matt Parrish. Rangel again coming into this one with 8 goals. Can he make it 9? As the rain begins to pour here at Zions Bank Stadium. Rangel steps up. The shot puts it into the back of the net. And Roy take a lead over the Salem Hills Skyhawks.
Calm and composed by Rangel right there. Has his team on his back to put him up 1-0 over the Salem Skyhawks. And, you know, Roy are the underdogs here, man. They have everything to play for. And Salem now down a goal. Let's see if Salem can get something going.
Just like game 1, the lower seed takes a lead over the higher seed, so we'll see how this one decides to go.
You know, these teams seem pretty even as well. Like, there's no team that, like, looks better than the other. It seems like either team can take this game. It's just all about who finishes and who doesn't.
Free kick coming up here for Salem Hills as Jackson Williams standing over the ball to take. Leaves it off for Barker. Barker, the cross comes in, and that ball goes out of bounds and out for the goal kick.
Yeah, early in the game, and just the body composure from Salem's not looking very good.
It's going to be Xander Allred to boot it away as Allred gets it off for the Roy Royals. Hart flicks it off. Now over the top, Boston Risk giving chase. And a collision between Shepard and Aiden Hart. And now Jackson Shepard back to ground.
That doesn't look good.
Yeah, it's a scary one. We're going to take a quick step away here on the Rewind Sports Network.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters.
If you want to avoid your AC breaking down this summer, the best thing you can do is stay on top of your AC's annual maintenance. But if you do find yourself with an air conditioner blowing hot air, Any Hour Services technicians service all brands, and they can usually get to you pretty quick. Call Any Hour Services or schedule online at anyhour.com. Whether you need maintenance, repair, or replacement, the technicians at Any Hour Services can help you keep your home comfortable all summer long. Call Any Hour Services or schedule online at anyhour.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
Want to welcome you back into Zions Bank Stadium. Good to see Shepard on his feet, having to be carried out here by the trainer, but nonetheless, good to see him up.
Yeah, that's always a good sight to see when a player gets hurt and they're able to walk themselves off the field, even if someone's supporting them. Hopefully he's okay, though.
Quality player in the middle of the park for Salem Hills. Hopefully he can come back and make his impact in the middle of the park.
Yeah, that's a bad loss for Salem right there.
Ball back in play. Booted away. Goes out of bounds and out. It's going to be a throw-in coming up here for the Roy Royals. Over on the far side, it's going to be Aiden Hart to take. Everybody coming in, crashing in front of Matt Parrish. I think Aiden Hart's going to go deep here. Ball comes in, near post. Jackson Williams there to header it away. Rangel gets a boot on it. Batty's there, tries to bring it down. Harrison gets a touch on it and takes a deflection. Now Jackson Williams boots it away. Aiden Hart back in possession. Rangel trying to poke it through to Boston Risk and boot it away by the Skyhawks.
Yeah, just some chaos in the box in this game so far. Can Salem get back in this one, though? That's the real question.
Brought down by Bronson Belknap. Ball goes out of bounds and out. We'll have a throw-in coming up here for the Roy Royals. Taken quickly by Sam Bischoff. Out of bounds once more, this time for Salem Hills throw-in. Substitution coming up for the Skyhawks as Will Hansen checking back in.
Substitution for the Skyhawks. Number 12, Will Hansen.
Brower tries to bring it down. One back by Aiden Hart and the Roy Royals. Hart pokes one through, looking for Scheffenauer. Thomas giving chase. Thomas shielding it off, and Thomas doing a good job there to make sure that goes out of bounds and out for the goal kick. Substitution now getting ready for the visiting Roy Royals. Looks like that's going to be number 29, Tyson Johansson checking in.
Field for the Royals. Number 29, Tyson Johansson.
Ball in play now as Williams will bring it up. Out wide to Torgerson. Ball coming across his wrist, tries to find Johansson, takes a deflection. Brower now playing it up, trying to get it off to Barker, and Allred off his line to collect well. Allred will boot this one away. Anderson gets a header on it, tries to be brought down by Jackson Williams. Scheffenauer does a good job to win it back. Out wide, intercepted by Kojo Bird. Ball coming the other way. It's now Bybee cutting back inside. Bybee taking it in. Cleared out by Boston Risk. Heavy touch from Torgerson. He's able to keep it. Williams trying to bring it down. Williams now in possession. Jackson Williams gets around one, gets around two, trying to get around a third, but nicely shielded off there by Harrison.
Here come Roy now.
Takes a awkward bounce. Scheffenauer trying to get on the end of it. Scheffenauer goes down. Play on, says the ref. Anderson now coming out with possession. Anderson. Miscommunication there as that ball goes out of bounds and out. It'll remain Skyhawk possession. 14:40 left to go here in the first, and it's a 1-0 lead for the Roy Royals. Nice header there by Bischoff to get it out. Brower takes a heavy touch. Aiden Hart brings it in. Booted away by the Roy Royals. Anderson with a header. Boston Risk intercepts. Takes a bounce as Johansson tries to win back possession. Kojo Bird now playing it up for Salem Hills. Ball in for Boston Risk as he gets around Thomas. Thomas doing a great job defensively, and Thomas boots this one away. Aiden Hart. Brower wins it back. Booted away by Anderson. Hansen trying to bring it in. Hansen on the sideline, loses out possession. Ball played through. Johansson running off behind the defenders, but again, Thomas doing a fantastic job defensively.
Yeah, great little tackle to force the ball out of bounds by Thomas right there. Now Roy have a corner, though. Let's see if Roy can capitalize off of this.
Corner kick coming up here for the Roy Royals, and Carson, I believe it's their first. Could be wrong.
Their first corner? I think it's like their second, maybe.
Okay. Cross comes in, near post. Williams takes this one up. Brought in by Barker. Barker now up the sideline looking for Bybee. Bybee running off of it. Coming across defensively is Braden Butters.
Yeah, great vision by Barker right there. Barely misses Bybee, though, but the ball was cleared out of bounds, and now Salem had the ball back.
Booted away by Roy. Parrish off his line. Parrish brings it in. Parrish misses the ball. It lands at Johansson. Johansson takes the shot and can't put it on frame. Oh, what a mistake there from Matt Parrish.
Yeah, that's a terrible mistake by Parrish right there. You know, it seems like he just was very uncomfortable in the moment, but Johansson looked uncomfortable as well. Kind of caught him off guard that Parrish lost the ball, and, you know, he turned and shot, didn't really come to anything, though. You know, Roy could be up 2-0 right now.
Salem Hills dodge one there. Johansson steals the ball off of Parrish. No goalie in the box. And unfortunately, Johansson can't put it on frame for the Roy Royals. Roy still on the attack. Ball cut out by Montes de Oca. Played out now for Barker. Barker to Staley. Staley giving chase. Staley against Patterson, and Patterson wins it out, boots it away. Throw-in coming up here for Salem Hills. Staley to throw it in for the Skyhawks. Leaves it close for Jackson Williams. Williams gets around one. In the middle now for Barker. Barker gets around one. Barker trying to get around two. Brought down and a foul called.
Yeah, great little play right there by Williams and Barker. Williams with the nutmeg, obviously, and then Barker eventually beating his defender, then getting fouled, and now Salem have a good free kick chance right here. This is a wonderful spot for a free kick.
Barker at the moment standing over it to take, the sophomore. 3 on the wall for the Royals. The whistle. Barker stepping back. Barker steps up. The shot off the wall. Booted away by Roy. Thomas gets ahead on it to get it out wide. Anderson giving chase. Anderson can't keep it in as it goes out of bounds and out. Thrown coming up here for the Roy Royals. Substitutions as well coming up for the designated visitors.
Yeah, and just like that, Roy is back up the field. You know, Salem had a perfect opportunity to get a chance right there and put it on a target, but Barker unfortunately hit it against the wall, and now Roy have a throw-in up in the attacking third.
Aiden Hart here on the near side to throw it in. Everybody surrounding Matt Parrish again. Aiden Hart wanting to go deep. Does. Go near post. Williams is there as he heads away. Nicely flicked on there by Hansen. Salem was on the front foot on a quick counter, but nicely cut out by Roy. Torgerson to Williams. Williams will go out on the far side to Kojo Bird. Bird plays it into Brower. Brower now taking on one. Can't get around two, and nicely cut out there by Batty. Batty goes to ground, and a foul called. Free kick coming up here for the Roy Royals.
Yeah, Brower just one play away from giving Salem a goal-scoring chance, but unfortunately his touch was just a little too heavy, and it was good defending by Roy, though.
8:30 left to go here in the first. Again, it is the number 7 Roy Royals who lead the number 3 Salem Hills at the moment, thanks to a penalty converted by David Rangel.
This game's flying by, Alex.
Ball booted away by Kojo Bird. Just want to remind you that we are not done. We will be here all week long bringing you 5A, 6A, and 4A boys soccer here at Zions Bank Stadium. We got 4 coming up tomorrow, Carson.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun game. You know, what do we got? American Fork tomorrow. American Fork's always a fun team to watch, so I'm excited.
Ball back in play, flicked on there by Scheffenauer, and booted out by Cash Anderson. Throw in coming up here for the Roy Royals. Ball flicked through, and a foul called. High boot. And a free kick coming up here for the Roy Royals.
Another free kick opportunity for Roy, and you know, you got to start taking advantage of these free kicks sooner or later. You know, they're getting so many.
Ball floated in to the mix off the head of Barker. Bybee tracking it down. Here on the near side, Torgerson plays it up. Harrison gets ahead on it. Harrison and Barker battling it out, and we get a foul call there on Harrison. Taken quickly to Bybee. Bybee back to Barker. Barker trying to turn. Nicely cut out there by Boston Risk, and another foul called. Taken quickly, it's going to be Williams. Back to Thomas. Thomas out wide to Torgerson. Nicely done by Williams to get around one. Barker into Hansen. Hansen can't bring it in. Bybee trying to keep possession, and a foul called.
Here we go, Alex. Here we go. Now it's going to get fun.
And after the foul called, we'll have a stoppage in play as Boston Risk picked up a knock, so we'll have a substitution as Rangel, the goal scorer, checks back in.
Yeah, Boston isn't having a bad game so far. He's been alive and all over the field for Roy, and it's unfortunate that he's picked up a knock early in this game.
Ball back in play. Barker gets ahead on it, ends up at Williams. Now it's Bybee. Ball goes out wide to Kojo Bird. Bird bringing it up the sideline. Bird looking for options. Cut out by Roy, one back. Rangel taking it in. Bird coming across to win it back. Now it's Brower. Brower poking it through. Barker. Barker back to Brower. Brower at the top of the 18, plays it through, looking for Bybee, and cleared away. Roy doing a good job there defensively.
Yeah, great little ball by Brower right there. Just didn't find the feet of his teammate, and now the ball is put back into play.
Foul called. Free kick coming up here for the Roy Royals. Under 5 minutes left to go here in the first half. Roy leads at 1-0. Carson, what stuck out to you the most so far?
Nothing really like to point out really right now. You know, Roy got on the board early, and it made Salem pay for their penalty. And no team really has like created much early in this in this first half. And I just want someone to step up and create, and because like Salem, they have players around them. Barker, I want to see Barker get more involved. Johansson get involved for Roy. I don't know, man. It's a pretty slow game right now. Really hard to pick out like what stood out right now.
Parrish in possession. We'll go now to Cash Anderson. Anderson back to Parrish. Parrish playing it up to Williams. Williams spins, turns, gets around Ranhill. Carrying now is Williams. Nicely cut out by Patterson. Back in possession is Roy. Ball out wide to Carreno. Ranhill coming across with a nice slide.
Yeah, Williams has been solid all game. He's very, very confident on the ball and his skills.
Hansen to Barker. Barker. Nicely cut out there by Patterson. Torgerson coming across, wins it back. Thomas brings it down. Broward. Now out wide to Bybee. Bybee can't get around Belknap. And a foul called. Free kick coming up here for the Roy Royals.
Yeah, this game's starting to get physical, man. Salem seems visibly frustrated, and they're just fouling Roy left and right. And Roy's just like, okay, like, we'll take it. You're just going to keep giving us the ball back, so.
Works for Roy, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I mean,
Time is ticking away.
Yeah, Salem's already basically given him the goal by fouling in the box as well, so.
Ball booted high up the pitch towards the top of the 18. Headed away and out of bounds and out. Throwing coming up here for the designated visitors in the Roy Royals.
Here we go, another Roy throw-in.
It'll be Sam Bischoff here on the near side to throw it in.
Number 27, Danny Bernier.
Substitutions for the visiting Royals as well. Ball booted up, or headed up, excuse me. Harrison trying to win it. Scheffenauer cut in half by Bybee. And a foul called, free kick.
Yeah, you know, people seem visibly frustrated about that one as well, but that was a dangerous play, man. When a player goes up like that, you cannot get under them like that. That's just asking for someone to get injured.
Free kick coming up here for the Roy Royals to end the first half. 1:30 left to go. Can Roy make it two before we head to the break? It all of a sudden, Carson, got really cold. Ball whipped in near post. Parrish punches it away. Torgerson boots this one up and away.
Here come the
Giving
Skyhawks.
chase now is Hansen. Hansen bringing it in. Hansen can't get around Patterson. And Patterson does a good job to boot this one away. But let's talk about that Ranhill free kick, because it was curling towards the back post. And I don't know if it was the curl on the ball or the wind or what, but it completely changed the direction, almost caught Matt Parrish.
Yeah, that was a great free kick. You know, obviously it looked like the wind caught that one, but that was almost a good front post run by Ranghell's teammate right there, and they almost got another goal right there. But that was great goalkeeping by Parrish to knock that one out of bounds. Well, not out of bounds, but back into play.
Barker not happy with the call. He's coming over here to the near sideline to frustrated Barker there.
Yeah, many players on Salem right now are visibly frustrated, and it's showing because they've probably given up about 10 fouls so far in the first half, and they really need halftime to calm things down.
Ranhill floats one in, goes through a cross goal, kept in bounds by Roy. And another foul coming as Kojo Bird comes across and just takes out a Roy Royal. We go to halftime. We'll see if there's any card coming out for Coach O'Bird now, just a talking to, but that's going to do it. We've reached the end of the first at Zions Bank Stadium here in Game 2 of the 5A semifinals. It's the Roy Royals who lead 1-0 against the Salem Hill Skyhawks. Carson, again, talk to us about what you liked in that first half.
Yeah, pretty slow game so far. Nothing to point out just yet, though. But I really like Salem had their moments. They had a good build-up at one chance, but when Barker is on the ball, they're creating. But Barker is obviously visibly frustrated right now, and he seems out of the game. But Roy took their chance. You know, they got into the box, got fouled, had a penalty, and now they're up 1-0 in this semifinal game going into the second half.
We head to the break. Roy leads it 1-0 over Salem Hills. We're going to take a quick step away here on the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. As always, presented by Heidemann Associates. Stick with us for second half action when we return. Welcome back into the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. As always, presented by Heidemann Associates. I'm Alex Annapolis. That's Carson Lantz. We're here at Zions Bank Stadium, getting ready for the second half here of this second game of the 5A semifinals between the Salem Hill Skyhawks and the Roy Royals. Roy leads it 1-0. Getting ready to get things started here. And we are underway at Zions Bank again. It is the Roy Royals in the white, shooting to the left of your screen, and it is the Salem Hill Skyhawks in the navy blue, shooting to the right. Big second half coming up here for Salem Hills. They got to get back into this one, get back on level terms.
Yeah, man, it would be awesome to see Salem get one on the board and have another exciting game after last game.
Ball comes in. Takes a couple of weird bounces in front of goal, and then Coach O'Bird just blasts this one out. And out of bounds and out for the Roy throw-in.
Only a minute in, and the Roy are already pouncing on Salem, and they want another goal.
Throw-in coming up here for the Royals. Aiden Hart will go near post, flicked on by Batty, and Rangel recovers for Roy as the designated visitors keep possession. The ball comes in, looking near post, headed away by Thomas. Bird giving chase, Bird clears. Staley trying to keep it in, does. Oh no, a late flag, and it'll say went out of bounds and out for the Roy throw-in.
Yeah, some early action in this second half. You know, Roy's already stuck in Salem's half, and they want to get another goal, and Salem hasn't gotten up the field just yet.
Here comes the Royals, the header, saved by Parrish.
Hey, great.
At the back post, it was Belknap who got the header, and Parrish with the save.
Yeah, Belknap super unfortunate not to put that one in the back of the net, but that was a great save by Parrish to keep this game at 1-0.
A second goal here for the Roy Royals will go a long way. Early opportunities here for Roy as we have a corner and a set-piece opportunity coming up for the, again, designated visitors.
Yeah, that first goal that Roy scored seemed to really damage Salem, so if they get a second one, who knows what's going to happen.
Cross comes in near post, and it's cleared out by the Skyhawks. Still in possession is going to be the Roy Royals. Thomas comes across and gets a big header on that one to get that one out of bounds once more. Still can't clear the danger as Roy with another corner. Aiden Hart over on the far side to take. Hart crosses it in. Into the mix. That's Scheffenauer who got a head on it. It goes over the bar and out. The goal kick coming up. And finally the Skyhawks can clear a little bit of that pressure.
Yeah, Scheffenauer and Belknap both getting up for that one.
And the goal kick. One, it was off the line. It was far advanced off the line, too. The ball was still moving.
Yeah, as a keeper, that's just a simple thing you should know, right? But, you know, stuff happens.
And that's the kind of things that, at this point, Salem Hills wants to avoid. They want to get back into this one. They need to get back into this one. And you just want to avoid situations like that.
Yeah, they do. They need to get back into this one, but they also need to be composed and calm as well, you know. They haven't been really either all game, you know. Right into the start of the game, there's fouls after fouls, and Salem was just getting frustrated after every foul they committed.
Ball now to Shepard. Good to see him back here for this second half. Batty wins it out and cleared out by Roy Scheffenauer. Looking to turn. Scheffenauer plays it up the sideline. Now it's Boston Risk. Risk plays it in to Belknap. Belknap with a nice little dummy pass. And trying to get back into Belknap, but that ball cleared out by Kojo Bird.
Yeah, Roy just one runner away from being in on goal right there. That was a great opportunity.
Ball in play now for Aiden Hart. Hart will float one up the sideline. Nobody there as that ball goes out of bounds and out for the goal kick.
Yeah, exciting second half so far, you know. It's definitely a lot. The pace is up, unlike the first half, where it was like kind of slow. Both teams were getting their rhythm, and it seems like both teams have kind of gotten their rhythm now.
Parrish boots this one away. Lands now at the feet. And booted up by Roy Royals. Here comes Boston Risk trying to get on the end of it. Rangel taking a shot from distance, and it's Matt Parrish who comes up with a save.
Yeah, what a turn by Boston Risk right there. And then again to lay it off to Rangel, who had a shot on goal, and another great save by Parrish to keep Salem in this one.
Parrish coming up big for Salem Hills. Corner kick for Roy. See if they have anything up their sleeves on this set-piece opportunity as they look to take a 2-goal lead against the Skyhawks. The cross comes in near posts, headed away, and cleared out by Barker. Ball comes down and floated over. No one there as that ball will go out of bounds and out for the throw-in Skyhawk ball.
Yeah, Roy early in the second half have plenty of set-piece chances. They got to take advantage of one of these sooner or later.
Ball in. Barker trying to bring it down. Bybee coming out to Barker. Barker will play it back out to Barker. Shepard trying to get on the end of it. Nicely cut out by Roy as Rangel now in possession, the goal scorer. Cut out by Brower. And now here comes the Skyhawks. Torgerson. Scheffenauer doing a great job defensively. Wins it back for Roy. Rangel now in possession. Rangel turns. Plays in the middle. Ball up now to Belknap. Belknap to Boston Risk. Risk trying to play it through. Poked away. Bybee now in possession for the Skyhawks. In the middle now of the park now for Williams. And a foul called. Free kick coming up here for the Skyhawks. Free kick here for Salem Hills. Played across the back line to Cash Anderson. Anderson almost poked away there. Anderson doing a good job defensively to keep possession. Kojo Bird. Bird taking it up for Salem Hills. Bird playing it in now. Brower. Brower takes a heavy touch. One back by Roy. Rangel losing out possession. Williams pokes it away. Booted up by Butters. Boston Risk now trying to get on the end of it against Kojo Bird. Bird doing a good job defensively as he shields that. And a foul called.
Yeah, great hold-up play by Bird right there to draw the foul.
One back by Belknap. Belknap taking a shot from distance. Goes over the bar and out. Hits that Chick-fil-A truck behind the goal. And a goal kick coming up.
Chick-fil-A sounds awesome right now. Seems like Belknap maybe wants some Chick-fil-A as well. He's shooting towards Chick-fil-A rather than the goal.
Ball booted away by Parrish, brought in by Shepard. Shepard out wide to Torgerson. Torgerson back into Shepard. Shepard trying to turn. Shepard goes to ground. One back by Roy. Here comes Scheffenauer. Scheffenauer plays it into Ranhill. Ranhill now with an opportunity as he plays a ball through looking for Parrish off his line. And Matt Parrish collects.
Oh, that was a great ball by Ranhill right there.
Ball back in. Anderson with a header. Bird giving chase. That ball out of bounds. It's going to be another throw-in coming up here for the Roy Royals. Aiden Hart going to take a throw in here on the near side, and he's going to look to play it into the mix. Ball comes in, near post, flicked over, and out by Williams. It's going to be a corner now for the Roy Royals.
Yeah, as I keep saying, Roy has had many set-piece opportunities in the second half, and they haven't capitalized on any of them yet.
Corner kick coming in for Hart. Hart crosses it in. Parrish has to punch it away, and then Parrish collects. Trying to hit on a quick counter now is the Salem Hill Skyhawks. Shepard goes to ground. Batty comes across, makes the tackle, wins the ball back. Players go to ground. And a foul called. Roy Ball.
What a tackle by Batty. That was such a good tackle to win that ball back from Salem and stop that counter.
Free kick coming up for the Roy Royals. Hansen getting ready to check back in. 29-30. Left to go here in the second half. Ball floated in. Batty coming across. Anderson goes to ground. And a foul called. Free kick. We'll have a stoppage in play here as the official heading over to have a chat with Shepard. Ball back. Ball booted away by Matt Parrish. Takes a deflection over. Barker's there. Comes across. Barker goes down and cleared out by Roy. Ranhill playing it up. Ball booted away by Thomas. Free throw-in coming up here for the Roy Royals.
Yeah, Alex, there's 28 minutes only left in this game. It's getting crazy here, man.
Barker not happy. Staley battling out for possession, out of bounds once more. Throw-in coming up over on the far side for the Roy Royals. It's going to be Butters to take. Butters throws it in. Ranhill gets a boot on it. Ball comes down. Hart trying to keep possession. One back by Salem Hills. Ball goes out wide. Bybee giving chase. Bybee does a good job to keep it in. Bybee cuts back, and here comes Salem Hills. Bybee up the sideline for Barker. Barker gets around one, gets around two. Barker taking it in. Barker, nice recovery there from Harrison. And a corner kick coming up for Salem Hills.
Yeah, nice run by Barker right there. He avoided the tackle from Batty and jumped right over him, and now Salem has a corner.
Substitution coming up as the Salem Hills Skyhawks make a change. It's going to be Kojo Bird heading to the bench for a breather. Will Hansen back into the mix.
Yeah, I was impressed with Bird. He was holding his own back there, and very fast player, and his hold-up play is very good. He's defensively good as well, and let's hope he gets a good breather.
Ball booted away by the Royals. Boston Risk now giving chase. Cut out by Anderson. Hansen now. Hansen goes to ground and a foul called. Free kick coming up here for Salem Hills. Barker losing out possession to Rangel.
Yeah, Barker's got to be careful.
Throwing now for Salem Hills. One back by Roy. Rangel. Rangel playing it through, looking for Boston Riss. Parrish off his line, and Parrish collects. Matt Parrish will boot this one away for the Skyhawks. It's going to be Belknap who goes to ground. A foul called.
You know, Alex, I wish we had a stat tracker of how many fouls have been called in this game, because it seems like every minute or every couple seconds there's a foul being called. It's a really aggressive game right now.
A lot of physicality in this one, for sure.
You know, again, it's a playoff game. It's expected. No one wants to lose.
Patterson will float one in to the 18, takes a hop, and into the hands of Matt Parrish. Played out quickly. Here comes the Skyhawks. It's going to be Hansen. Hansen gets around one. Hansen carries. Hansen settles it. And Hansen and Staley not on the same page there. Thomas boots it away. Barker comes across. Whistle and a foul called. Salem Hills free kick. Barker in possession. Barker to Staley. Staley back in now to Brower. Brower to Barker. Barker to Williams. Williams to Barker. Salem Hills trying to crack this Roy defense here. Back in the middle to Williams. Williams has to go back to Thomas. Back in the middle now for Williams. Williams looking to go out wide. Torgerson can't get to it. Throw-in coming up for the Roy Royals.
Yeah, it looked like it was a good build-up from Salem right there. They were being patient, and they looked like they were finally finding their groove right there, but I feel like Williams just took a little too long to get things going and eventually kick the ball out of the bounds.
Rangel brings it in. Williams playing it up now to Barker. Barker out wide to Hansen. Hansen taking it in. Hansen up the sideline to Bybee. Bybee now to Barker. Barker trying to take it into the box. Barker does. Barker goes down. And a penalty called. Barker goes to ground. A yellow card caution issued. And a penalty for Salem Hills to get back on level terms. Just what Salem Hills needed. Barker did a good job to cut inside, get into the box, feels the contact, goes to ground, and now an opportunity here from 12 yards out to tie things up.
Yeah, I'm going to need a replay of that. It just happened so fast. I don't even like, what just happened? Yeah.
It looks like it's going to be Bybee who's going to take the penalty to tie it all up. 23-46 left to go here in the second half. Roy leads it 1-0. Bybee against Allred from 12 yards out. Carson Bybee, the shot, puts it in and ties it up. The Skyhawks are level.
The senior Carson Bybee puts his team back into this game, leveled at 1-1. Salem and Roy, like, there's nothing to complain about. Both teams have been bailed out by the ref now, getting penalties, and now it's a 1-1 off of penalties.
Great there from the Salem Hill Skyhawks, who started to build more in the attack, started doing better at getting forward, and then the penalty called, and now all of a sudden it's 1-1.
Yeah, Salem doing what they do, man. They just needed a penalty to get themselves back in this game, and they're hungry. They want this game. Roy's got to match that energy.
Ball back in play. Roy wins it with Belknap. Ranhill. How will the Royals respond? That equalizer there is a big momentum shift. See if Roy can take it back. Ball poked through safely into the hands of Matt Parrish. Matt Parrish will take his time clearing this one out. Hansen loses out possession. Hart wins it back. Now it's Hart again. Hart playing it to Bergen. Bergen up to Ranhill. Ranhill plays it through to Harrison. Harrison with the shot. And Matt Parrish coming up big with the save.
Yeah, great little sequence right there, Alex. Unfortunately, not to get another goal right there. Brent Howell is all over the place right now, creating left and right. He's that centerpiece for this attack for the Royals.
Luke Harrison there with the shot. Matt Parrish coming up with the save. And now Williams in possession for the Skyhawks. That ball out wide to Torgerson. Torgerson losing out possession. Williams coming across defensively. Wins it back. Only momentarily as Scheffenauer wins it. Up now to Belknap. And Williams boots this one away. Hansen lets it bounce. Butters comes across. Throw-in coming up for his Skyhawks. And Carson, all of a sudden, this game is wide open.
Yeah, where's this been the whole time? This is what we've been waiting for, and Roy and Salem are giving us a great game right now.
Brower losing out possession. Back in is going to be Bergerin. And a goal kick coming up here for the Salem Hill Skyhawks. Parrish to boot this one away. Hart gets a header on it. Up now to Ranhill. Ranhill trying to cut back inside. The cross comes in. Head away by Thomas. Hansen turning up the sideline. Here comes Will Hansen. Hansen taking it up. Shepard. Back now to Williams. Shepard. Shepard out wide looking for Hansen. Hansen can't get on the end of it. It goes out of bounds and out for another Roy throw.
Yeah, that turf, man, it's just the ball travels so fast on it, and it's just passes like that where you put just a little power on it. You can just never know what's going to happen with turf.
The rain really starting to come down now.
And especially the rain. Ball's going to start moving a lot quicker.
Flick through, one back by Roy. Ranhill takes a touch, one back by Hansen. Hansen to Anderson. Anderson now to Thomas. Thomas back to Parrish. Parrish carries. Parrish boots this one away. It's going to be Montes de Oca to bring it in. Barker now. Barker gets around one, gets around two. Barker still in possession. Barker taking it in. Aiden Hart coming across with an interception. And a free kick called. Foul against the Salem Hill Skyhawks.
Barker's so calm and composed on the ball, and even taking on a defender. He just took on three guys right there casually and then lost the ball, but that's still a great sequence from Barker.
Ball coming through. Parrish off his line, collects, and this one's booted away. One back by Belknap. Belknap up the sideline, playing it into Aiden Hart. Back out wide to Bischoff. In the middle now for Bergen. Bergen taking it in. Bergen with the shot and safely into the hands of Matt Parrish as he comes up big yet again.
Yeah, great touch right there by number 27 right there. But Parrish has been making save after save today and keeping Salem in this one. He's got to give credit where it's due.
Parrish boots this one away. Barker flicks it over. Shepard brings it down. Shepard over the top to Bybee, giving chase. Off his line is Allred, who collects. Ball over the top. Parrish off his line, collects. The offside flag raised, and it will not count. Brower. Ball booted away. And apologies to our guy Colby Froyer in goal. We didn't realize that Allred is no longer in the game. It's now Colby Froyer in the match. Kojo Bird to throw it in. Substitution as Boston Risk checks back in. Aiden Hart heading to the bench. Oh, it is pouring now.
Yeah, I can never rely on the Utah weather in games like these.
Ball goes out wide. It's now Belknap. The cross comes in, takes a deflection. Ball goes out of bounds and out. We got a corner kick coming up for the Roy Royals. 16:50 left to go here in the second half. We're all tied up at 1-1.
Sooner or later, someone's got to score again, right, Alex? We don't want another overtime game here, do we?
Not in this weather. The cross comes in from Brown Hill near post, punched away by Parrish. And Matt Parrish again coming up big. Ball coming out to Patterson. Up the sideline, flicked on by Bergen. Scheffenauer trying to get on the end of it. Parrish off his line, collects well.
Great keeping by Parrish right there.
Ball goes out of bounds and out. Throw-in coming up for the Roy Royals.
Yeah, Torgensen just having a hard time dealing with that ball and as it rolled out of bounds.
Thomas doing a good job defensively. Cleared away by Deoka. And a foul called. Off the handball. Free kick. Stoppage in play here by the official.
Play smart, play smart.
Parrish will boot this one away. Parrish gets it up. Barker bringing it in. Shepard trying to turn. Goes to ground. One back by Roy. Belknap gets the tip of his boot on it. Goes through to Scheffenauer. Scheffenauer trying to get around Torgerson, but Torgerson doing a great job defensively there.
Yeah, it was a great tackle by Torgensen to stop the counter on that.
Here comes Scheffenauer back in possession. Scheffenauer with the shot, and another save by Matt Parrish. Parrish here taking his time to clear this one out. Ball booted away. Takes a bounce. Anderson gets the tip of his boot on it. Scheffenauer trying to use his speed to get it around. Thomas comes through, taken down in the box, nothing called. We play on. Barker in possession, coming the other way. Here comes Barker. Gets around one, plays it into Shepard. Shepard back out to Barker. Barker defended by two. Barker gets around one, can't get around Butters. And Butters boots this one out for the Skyhawks throw-in. Substitutions for both sides as Hart checks back in for the designated visitors. Staley checking in for the home side.
A great physical game with 13 minutes left. It's going to just get more and more physical as the game gets close to the end. But this is a great game so far. Just 1-1, both PKs, but both teams have stepped it up in that second half.
Shepard brings it down. Booted away by Harrison. Harrison playing it up to Belknap. Belknap trying to play it through. Nicely defended by the Skyhawks. Out of bounds and out. We'll have a Roy throw. Throw in here on the near side. Brower goes to ground but does a good job to keep possession. Williams. Out to Bird. Bird takes a touch off of Kojo Bird. Throwing coming up. And that ball will just flow through safely back out for the goal kick.
I'm feeling a game winner, Alex. Either way, someone's going to get a goal.
For the sake of me being cold up here, yes, I hope someone scores.
Yeah, for the sake of my hands falling off, I would hope so as well.
Tino got it. He got gloves on.
Yeah, I should come more prepared next time, like Tino.
Ball played through now to Scheffenauer. And that ball goes out of bounds off of Thomas. It's going to be another corner kick. Another set piece opportunity coming up for the Roy Royals.
Yeah, bring out the DJ Khaled quote. Another one.
The cross comes in, floats through, Risk is there. Boston Risk off the volley, can't redirect it on frame.
Yeah, great opportunity from Boston right there. Unfortunately, he couldn't put it on frame.
Goal kick coming up as Matt Parrish has a chance here to clear the Salem Hill lines. Ball booted away. Patterson gets a foot on it. Risk trying to win it back. Takes a bounce over to Torgerson. Bybee trying to play it through. And now Bybee back in possession. Bybee out to Kojo Bird. Bird carries, has time, has space. Coming across is Butters. Gets around Butters. The cross comes in. Poked away. Brower at the top of the 18. Plays it across. Has a chance with Williams. And nicely defended there by the Royals. Still in possession is the Skyhawks. Going back to Thomas. Thomas floats one over the top. Brower brings it down. Bird. Kojo Bird playing it back to Brower. Brower now into Barker. Barker taking it. Barker goes down and nothing called. The ball goes out of bounds and out the goal kick.
All right, I'm gonna be honest here, Alex. Out of both of the pens given today, I feel like that was the most obvious one to give.
Barker goes down, not happy with the call. The goal kick. Barker wins it back. Barker taking it from distance, takes a deflection. Kojo Bird coming across. Does a good job to win it. Can't keep it in bounds.
Yes, this game's just going to keep heating up.
Out to Shepard. Shepard now back into Bird. Bird taking it up. And that ball goes out of bounds and out for the goal kick. 9 minutes left to go here in the second half. All tied up at 1-1. All of a sudden, There's some tension in the air.
Yeah, I think Roy can feel that Salem's slowly taking over this game. But Salem's already taken over this game, but
Thomas does a good job to win it back. Stolen by the Royals. Here comes Rangel, pokes one through. Hart is there. Off his line is Parrish, and he collects.
yeah, Parrish once again stepping up and getting the ball, and he's been outstanding today, goalkeeping wise.
Go, Jack! Move, Jack!
Again, Royals back in possession. Belknap stolen away by Williams. Williams plays it to Brower. Brower giving chase. Risk wins it. Anderson against Hart. Anderson will shield it. Does a good job to shield it. And a yellow card issued.
Yeah, Belknap picking up that yellow right there. You know, it seems like every player has kind of been in the ref's ear all game, and it was sooner or later he was going to give a card to a player for back talking to him.
Gotta win the long ball! Gotta win it!
Goal kick coming up for Matt Parrish.
Now in the Royal line, number 3.
Parrish boots this away. Lands at Shepard. Shepard goes down, a foul called, and a free kick coming up for the Salem Hills Skyhawks. It's going to be Williams standing over the ball to take. Just one on the wall as Aiden Hall standing the lone man. Williams will cross it in, plays it into the box, back post, and the offside flag's raised. It will not count. .735 left to go. And we have another stoppage in play. And Barker has to come off, get a look at his knee.
Yeah, unfortunate whenever you get a cut and blood is visible, you have to come off the field and get it covered. So Barker will take some time out for a second.
Ball back in play. Bybee playing it back to Thomas. Thomas up the sideline to Williams. Jackson Williams carries. Leaves it for Brower. Brower now back to Anderson. It'll go all the way back to Parrish.
Got to be careful there. If there was one attacker there, they could have been in on a goal.
Butters comes across with a header. Carreno getting a header on it. One back by the Skyhawks. Bybee playing it over the top. Hansen and Shepard giving chase. Booted away by Butters. Rangel gets a header on it. Flick through. Williams wins it back. Anderson. Now it's Brower. Brower taking it up. Brower up the sideline to Bird. Butters comes across. Ball goes out of bounds and out. Thrown coming up. Barker now getting ready to check back in for the Skyhawks.
Yeah, Barker's been solid all day. Having him come back on the field is, well, even just having him on the field makes Salem look like a better team.
Bird throws it in. Ball goes back, out of bounds and out. Another Salem Hills throw-in coming up with 6 minutes left to go here at Zions Bank Stadium. Williams will go out wide to Torgerson. Torgerson floating one in, and off his line is Colby Frokier to collect. Batty down after a collision with his keeper.
Yeah, Batty's been solid all game, too. Hopefully he's not too hurt. been very solid defensively all game and put in a couple good tackles. So it'd be unfortunate if Roy lost him. But it seems like he's okay. He's up and walking.
He's a tough cookie. I think he'll carry on.
Yeah, just walk it off, as my dad likes to say.
Frokier boosts this one up and away. Scheffenauer trying to win it back. Riss crosses it in. And booted away by the Skyhawks. Bybee trying to come across, wins it. Hansen gets a touch. Goes back to Torgerson. Hansen now. Hansen up the sideline. Nicely cut out there by Bischoff. Ball played in. Comes off of the ref as Barker was trying to play it through. Free kick taken. And well, that's a no-no. Can't do that.
Yeah, usually you get a yellow card for that, so he's very fortunate not to pick up one.
Barker now taking it up. Gets around Rangel, gets around one, gets around two. Trying to take it up the sideline. Here comes Barker. Barker trying to cut it back. Barker looking for support. Cross comes in, takes a deflection, and a corner kick coming up for the Skyhawks. Corner on the far side. Set piece opportunity. Ball floated in near post. Bird is there. Takes a deflection. Still an opportunity. Now comes out as Salem Hills regain possession. Rangel doing a great job to win it back.
Here come Roy the other way now.
Anderson. Anderson will go all the way back to Matt Parrish. Parrish will go to Anderson. Ball comes into Brower. Brower to Bird. Bird comes in as he floats one in looking for Shepard. Shepard brings it down. Shepard into the box. Shepard with the shot. Over the bar. Oh no, Jack Shepard.
What a sequence right there, Alex. That was a great ball by Kojo, Bird, and Shepard to bring that one down and let a shot off and narrowly miss the goal. That close to making it 2-1.
Jack Shepard had it and just puts it over the bar right in front of Froyer's goal. Williams now back in possession. Bybee from distance takes a deflection, lands at Shepard. Shepard back into the box. Shepard with the shot, and Shepard again puts it over the bar.
Dude, Shepard's close. He might get himself a goal. That's two in like matter of seconds right there. Got 2 minutes left here, and Salem want to win.
Salem Hills have turned on the burners. Ball comes over the top. Aiden Hart giving chase. Hart pokes it away and can't put it on frame. Goal kick coming up for Matt Parrish, but Aiden Hart sneaky as he gets in there and pokes it through.
Yeah, Roy, just like that, you know, Salem just had two chances to score, and Roy just had himself a chance as well and didn't capitalize. It's an exciting last couple minutes of the game.
Under 2 minutes now. Ball out of bounds and out. Throw-in coming up for the Salem Hills Skyhawks. Bird over the top. Butters gets a header on it. Bird again. Williams giving chase. Williams brings it down. Williams now taking it up for Salem Hills. Williams will flow one over the top. Barker's there. The header, or excuse me, Bybee with the header, and into the hands of Froyer.
Yeah, Salem still got a minute to get a game winner here. Even Roy does. Roy here again. Oh, here comes Salem.
Brower to Williams. Williams trying to poke it through, looking for Bird. A foul called. And a yellow card issued to Rangel, the goal scorer. And all of a sudden, Salem Hill fans on their feet. 1 minute 10 left to go in the second half. They have a free kick.
Yeah, you see, that would have been a smart foul by Ren Hell, but, you know, the clock stops when you foul, and now he's got to go off and maybe we'll be back on by the end of the half.
Free kick here for the Skyhawks. Williams standing over it to take. William plays it in near post. Butters is there to boot it away. Williams again. Out wide to Bird. Cut out by Risk. Here comes Boston Risk. Risk tries to play one through. Risk goes down. Another stoppage in play as a yellow card caution issued to Kojo Bird. Free kick coming up here for the Royals. 54 seconds left on the clock. Patterson standing over it to take. Patterson floats one in. Looking back post. The header, Parrish collects. Played out now to Hansen. Hansen brings it up. Hansen takes it up the sideline. Hansen now gets around two. Hansen gets around three. Hansen up the sideline. Heavy touch, out of bounds and out. Throw in coming up for Roy.
Yeah, what a run by Hansen right there. Putting the team on his back, and just unfortunate to have the ball go out of bounds at the end.
That ball back out of bounds and out. 10 seconds left. Hansen with the throw. The throw comes in.
8, 7, 6, 5,
Williams collects. Bergen. Williams with a defensive challenge, and that'll do it. We've reached the end of 80, and we are heading to another edition of overtime here at Zions Bank Stadium. Carson, talk to me, man. What did you see in those last 10 minutes from Salem Hills?
Dude, Salem Hills have turned on the Jets at the end there. They dominated that second half. They didn't look like the team that they were in the first half. They looked a lot better in the second half, more comfortable on the ball, very aggressive. They got a goal, and now we're going to overtime, and let's see if Salem can get them another goal. But Roy have slowed down a lot, and they don't look like the team that were for the first 10 minutes of the first half. You know, they looked calm and composed, and now they look a little disjointed coming to the end of the second half.
So we head to the break. We're all tied up at 1-1 as we head to another edition of overtime in the 5A semifinals. We'll take the step away here on the Rewind Sports Network. Stick with us for more action when we return. Into the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com, as always, presented by Heidemann Associates. I'm Alex Napolis. That's Carson Lantz. We got another one going to overtime, Carson.
Yes, we do. This should be an exciting one. Who knows? Maybe it'll go to penalties again. Maybe we'll get a golden goal. Either way, someone's going to the championship tonight.
And we are underway as Roy get us started. It's going to be the Royals in the white, shooting to the left of your screen. And the Salem Hills Skyhawks in the blue, shooting to the right. Good opportunity there for Scheffenauer, but nicely covered by Cash Anderson as it goes out of bounds and out for the goal kick.
Yeah, just unfortunate to slip on that wet turf ground over there, and, you know, it happens all the time.
Goal kick coming up here for Matt Parrish as he boots this one away. Ball now with Batty as he floats one in over the top. Nicely defended there by Anderson, won by Williams. Williams plays it up the sideline to Bird. Trying to break now is the Skyhawks. Here comes Bird. Bird plays it to Shepard. Shepard goes to ground. A foul called and a free kick coming up. Yellow card issued to Patterson.
Yeah, here's a great free kick opportunity for Salem now.
For those of you tuning in, remember the overtime rules here in high school boys soccer. We get one period of overtime that is 10 minutes long. And next goal win situation. The golden goal rule applies. If we're still tied at the end of 10, we go to another 10 here at Zions Bank.
Here's the leading goal scorer, Barker, on the ball now.
2 on the wall for Roy. Barker takes the free kick. Deflected out. Cleared by Roy. Shepard tracking it down. Williams now giving chase. Risk trying to win it. Williams does a good job to spin out of it and keep possession. Williams now carrying up. Bybee to Williams. Williams turning again. Ball given away. Rangel turns, gives it to Hart. One back by the Skyhawks. Brower turning, poking it away. Barker. Barker takes on 2. Barker gets around a third. Barker nicely defended as Neil Curtis tracks back and covers that. Bird throws it in to Barker. Barker trying to get around his man and cleared away by Roy. Anderson coming up from his center back position to cut it out. Brower back out wide to Barker. Barker against Curtis. Gets around Curtis. The cross comes in. Back post. The shot that can't be put on frame. And now Curtis clears it away for Roy.
Yeah, great play by Barker right there to find the. Yeah, great play by Barker right there to find Carson Bybee. Unfortunately, Carson Bybee didn't find a good connection on the ball, though, and this game's still 1-1.
Ball goes out of bounds and out. Throw-in coming up for the Roy Royals as Hart will throw it in. Ball booted up and away by Curtis. Comes down and out. Throw in for Salem Hills. Cut out by Batty, and Batty will boot it away. Boston Risk gets a header on it. Anderson giving chase. Parrish just boots this one away. Out of bounds and out. Hart will throw it in. Hart trying to take it, or excuse me, Boston trying to take it in. Cleared away by Anderson, lands at Harrison. Harrison trying to play it in. Williams cuts it out. Bybee flicks it off, no one there. Rangel recovers for the Royals. Hart, back out to Hart. Anderson flicks it through. Thomas boots it away. Some helter-skelter defending here from Salem Hills as Bird wins it back.
Yeah, Salem's locking it down in the back line right now. Roy can't get anything going against that defense.
Ball floated through. Anderson takes a touch. Anderson up the sideline. Anderson with an opportunity. And now it's Barker to Brower, who can't get through. Williams recovers. Ball goes out wide now to Torgan.
What a calm player Williams is. Super calm and composed on the ball.
He's your do-it-all midfielder. He gets forward in the attack and helps create. He gets back on the defensive side on the ball. Very much a little bit of a box-to-box midfielder here for Salem Hills. Schiffenauer getting through. Schiffenauer goes to ground. Nothing called. Ball coming the other way. Shepard now on the break. Shepard over the top looking for Barker. Lands at Barker. Barker flicks it through. Batty across. Batty clears. And a throw-in coming up for Salem Hills.
Salem, they're keeping the pressure on.
Bird brings it down. Bird into Shepard. Shepard now to Bybee. Bybee through. Butters comes across and clears. Bird bringing it down. Brower. Brower into the box. The shot from distance. Punched over the bar by Colby Froyer.
What a shot. That was a great shot.
And an even better save from Froyer.
And I was going in the upper 90 right there, and Fourier made an outstanding save to keep this game leveled.
Corner kick coming up now for the Salem Hill Skyhawks. An opportunity here for the golden goal off the set piece. The whistle. Cross comes in near post. It's low, driven at the first post. Staley trying to win it back, and a foul called.
We got 3 minutes left.
Free kick coming up here for the Royals. Ball booted away by Patterson. Takes a deflection. Anderson comes across. Thomas boots it away. Out of bounds and out for another Roy throw-in. Aiden Hart to throw it in, and he's going to go long. Hart throws it in. Flicked off by Belknap at the near post. Staley trying to defend. Ball comes out. Hart keeps it in. Staley doing a great job defensively. Ball booted away. Shepard brings it down. Now it's Bybee. Bybee taking it up. Batty. And a foul called.
Yeah, this game's getting more and more exciting as it goes on. Roy now has the ball, and you know, this game is still 1-1. It doesn't feel like it's 1-1. It feels like Salem's dominated this game, but the scoreline doesn't show that.
That ball goes out of bounds and out. Throw-in coming up here for the Salem Hill Skyhawks. Back into play quickly. Shepard trying to get around his defender. Ball out of bounds again. Throw-in coming up. Substitution as Hansen checks back in. 1:50 left to go here, Carson. And you know what? I'm still not over that big save from Colby Froyer.
Yeah, that was a great save. What a save. Let's keep this game at 1-1. Both keepers have been going at it all game. No, both have given up a penalty, but other than that, they both have been making great saves.
Either team yet to score in the run of play. Both goals coming off penalties. Do we have one here for either side?
Yeah,
ball now up with Belknap. Belknap out wide to Hart. Hart taking it in. Hart up the sideline. Nicely defended there by Torgerson.
Yeah, I bet either team would love to get a goal here in overtime for a golden goal in open play.
The cross comes in. Parrish punches it away and cleared out by the Skyhawks. Hansen brings it down. Hansen trying to turn. Supports himself with Bird. Bird now in the middle for Brower. Brower coming through. Brower up the sideline. Barker giving chase. Barker against Patterson. Patterson shields it off. And Patterson does a good job to make sure Barker can't get to it. Throw-in coming up for the Roy Royals.
30 seconds left. Looks like this game's most likely going to go to second overtime.
20 seconds left. Ball booted over. Bird with the header. Anderson pokes it away. Butters brings it down.
10, 9, 8, 7,
Giving chase. Now out wide to Shepard. Butters clears. And that'll do it.
0.
We've reached the end of an overtime. Still tied at 1-1. Carson, we go to double OT for the second time today.
Yeah, you know, these overtimes are getting old, but I love them. Nothing better than a good overtime and then potentially going to PKs. This is the game we love, you know? Yeah, nothing better than this, so I can't complain.
Free soccer here at Zions Bank. We head to the break. Stick with us for second overtime action when we return. Welcome back into the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. As always, presented by Heinemann Associates. I'm Alex Napolis. Alongside me is Carson Lance. Carson, free soccer, second overtime in a fun battle between the number 3 and the number 7.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this second half of overtime. I really want a golden goal. Nothing's better than a game winner in overtime rather than winning it in PKs. But PKs is always good to win in as well. But the feeling to get that game winner goal, nothing beats that.
We are underway once more at Zions Bank. Second overtime kicking off. And look, I have to agree with you. I love the drama of the penalty shootout. But to hear this stadium erupt off a golden goal game winner would be absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, either way, but both teams got to fight for it. Otherwise, this is going to go to PKs, and it's going to be decided on the spot.
Throwing over on the far side for KJ Bird. Ball one back by the Royals. Rangel now in possession. The goal scorer will float one through. Anderson with the header. Comes across and throw-in coming up here for the Royals. Nicely defended there again by Thomas. Ball booted away. Foul called and a free kick. Free kick coming up here for the Royals. It'll be Patterson standing over it to take. Ball floated in, looking back post. The header, it's in! It's the golden goal! And the Royals have done it!
I'm at loss of words. It's like a blink of an eye, and Roy has won the game. That's all it takes. Just one play.
Ball floated in, back post, the header into the bottom corner. Not sure who got the final header, but either way, it's number 7 who prevails.
Yeah, heartbreak for Salem Hills at Zions Bank Stadium right now. They played a really good game today. But Roy, that's all it takes. PK, free kick goal, 2-1 game.
An early golden goal, game winner for the Royals. And that sets them up with a ticket to the 5A state championship game on Thursday against the Wasatch Wasps as they look for their first state championship since 2003. I'm still trying to figure out who got that goal. And it's Aiden Hart on the goal. What a game, Carson.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say right now. Aiden Hart came in clutch right there and just slightly tapped it with his head and put it on frame and beat Parrish. Parrish had a good game, though. Obviously he's probably feeling a little down right now, but hey, Parrish, keep your head up. You had a great game today.
Came up with some big saves.
Yeah.
Big saves in that second half.
Both keepers did. Both keepers had a really good game. This was a joy to watch.
Salem Hills falls 2-1 to the Royals here in the 5A semifinals. We have a matchup set. It's going to be the number 1 Wasatch taking on number 7 Roy, Cinderella, heading to the state championship game. That's going to do it for us here on the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. As always, presented by Heinemann Associates. I'm Alex Napolis. That's Carson Lance. Big shout out to our guy Tino on the camera. And from the entire Rewind Sports family, we thank you for watching. Don't forget, come back to KSLSports.com tomorrow. We'll have 6A and 4A semifinal matchups here at Zions Bank starting bright and early at 9 a.m. Everyone have a good night.